Okay. All right. So this is our doTERRA business overview, and I hope you will all stay. I love this. Super changed my life. Not like gimmicky changed my life, but I remember when I graduated from high school and I was like, oh, what should I do? What should I go? Like I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna go into medicine. I don't know why. I just like, I'll be a doctor. I thought, oh, I'm just gonna do something hard. So I started going and I was fine. And then I went on a mission where like for 18 months in Canada. So I was not going to school. And just before I came home, I just had the strongest impression. You need to change universities and you need to go into business. Know anything about business. I have been an employee my whole life. I know how to work fast food. I've been a waitress. I've been a cook. I've been a dishwasher. I've cleaned motel rooms. Like you name it. I know how to work really, really hard. I didn't know anything about business, but I listened. And just that one decision, like sometimes you'll have these pivots in your like life. I think of it kind of as a string, and you'll have these dots where these are just powerful moments that change things for you. So one of those, like standing in a hayfield, Elise sharing essential oils with me, that was one of those pivotal moments because it really changed the way that I started taking care of my health and then my family's health and then generationally our health. But this was one that really changed the trajectory of like how I was going to impact other people's lives in the world, is through business. And I always thought like business was like, just make money, and whatever. Like I didn't really understand it. I just went, I graduated, ended up working somewhere and then getting laid off and then ended up creating my own business online. And it was awesome. But it wasn't until doTERRA like came into my life. At first, it was helping with my health. But then after a year of using doTERRA products and seeing like this is really impactful. Like this is so different than the model that I grew up with. This was so different than where my grandparents were, where they were on multiple prescription medications, where they were just managing their life revolved around which pills they were going to take at what time, that they didn't counteract with whatever. And I just remember at a young age thinking like, that seems crazy. But I was on that trajectory because I was living a lifestyle that was going to lead to that until some things changed. And then also I saw how most people's lives were dictated by employer, not enough money. My choices are mostly made by how much income I have. And that would impact people's health as well. Because think about it. Like, if you had all the money in the world, would you make some different choices? Would you use some different things? Would you do different things? Would your life be different if you had more income? Most of us, that's a yes, that we're not living like this dream life. And I'm not talking about from like a worldly, oh, I've got fancy clothes and cars and all that stuff. I'm just meaning like real important things, which like family relationships, your health, like your time, those things you can't overlook. Like those for me are the most important things. And that's why I'm so passionate about business, is because it can change lives. Just like some people go into medicine because they think they're going to change the world. I'm going to help all these people. I'm going to be a nurse, or I'm going to be a doctor. I mean, a teacher. I'm going to be a mom. Like a lot of times we go into these things because we're like, I can make a difference, right? I'm going to learn things. I'm going to help people. And for me, that's business. And when this has been coupled together with a system like doTERRA, which that's really what I think of it is a system of helping people, because we're helping people with their health, but we're helping people create income that can also pay for those better health choices. It's giving us reasons to connect with people. I mean, people's health is better through connections, right? And so for me, I'm a super introvert. Like you may not know it on Zoom, like Zoom, I'm fine. You get me into a room with a bunch of people and like, oh, I want to go hide in the bathroom, right? But this is my reason to connect. Like this gets me out of my introvert version and I actually connect with people instead of being a hermit, is because of this system, this tool that we have. So the opportunity that you have to create income is there. And there's many different ways you can do that. Why I love what we do so much is because you don't have to do it alone. It's already in place. We have products that are proven, a company that is proven successful. It's not going anywhere. And there are probably more people looking to get out of the traditional healthcare system than like raising their hand like, oh, yes, I want more meds. Oh, yes, I want more side effects. Like people are not like signing up for that. They feel like they're just falling into it. So there is a huge need to help connect people where they're at with solutions that they're looking for, but they may not know that they're even there, that they even exist. And the fun thing is, we don't have to be experts. We don't have to go to 4 years, 8 years, 12 years of college to become an expert at this. All you really need, you need to have like some products yourself and just have enough experience that you're like, okay, I know that these work. This is the way that I'm going. And you need a book or an app. Like, honestly, that's all you need. Because everything that I have learned about essential oils has really been like, I don't have it right here, has been in like the Essentials Life app or the book, just looking it up because the research has been done. That's all been compiled, and everybody on here knows how to read, that we can look up those things and be able to help guide someone and direct them to a solution. So just like Elise was pulling up, somebody said turmeric capsules. Well, guess what? She may not remember everything that she learned about turmeric, but she can go to the source. She can go to the website. She can go to a book and look those things up. Or there's a health challenge that you're facing or somebody else is facing. You can look that up and say, okay, migraines. What could I do for this? What could I do for that? And with this assessment, with the Power Me help, it makes it even simpler that you can send a link to someone and they can take the assessment. And if you don't know what to recommend, doTERRA gives them some standard recommendations for those things. So that's just kind of a very basic thing. I don't know how many of you have been to a business overview, but I'm going to give you some homework and I'll pull this up, but it's, again, I want you to become the type of person that thinks I'm going to find the answers. I'm going to research. I'm going to look. Like, it's kind of like the person that knows how to read, but then doesn't go read. I feel that way with online, like Google searching or AI. Like, we have access to so much information that there's not a reason why we can't look things up. So doTERRA, if ever you want to this, I always start with the same thing. Let me share my screen. I go to Google because I don't know. It just seems like a really good search engine, even though there's some not so good things. And you can look up doTERRA Business Overview PDF. And how many times have I researched this? Many, many, many. Is this build guide. And this is worth millions of dollars. There you go. This guide is what will help you to understand like the ins and outs of creating income with doTERRA. But I just want to share a couple of things. Some of you have been in maybe a business overview before, but this is a powerful analogy for you to really understand in order to create time and financial freedom for yourself and your family. If that's something that's important to you, if you're completely fine with where your life is, I know a lot of people, especially as we age, we might start out with dreams and those dreams get shot down. And so then instead of continuing to go for that, we just kind of lower our expectations, right? Because we don't want to be disappointed. So we stop going for things. We stop thinking bigger because we're like, I'm just going to be disappointed, or I tried to do this and it didn't work out, and all the, the reasons, the excuses, the whatever it is, why it didn't work out. One of my big things is being able to push, like, acknowledge that happened. Like, maybe you've tried something before and it didn't work. I always think that's just preparation for when it does work. Like, this is just my building block. This is helping me to learn some things that I needed to learn in order to be successful. But one of the things that, if nothing else, I hope you'll take this away and like be thinking about this and let inspiration really guide you on where you should go, because I believe we all are here for a purpose, and it's not just to struggle. It's not just to have some health challenges. It's not just to like, suffer through it and die. Like, I believe we all have gifts that we've been given, and that those are our stewardship. And the challenges that we go through, that we face, those are also our stewardship. And oftentimes those things that we go through, we can help somebody else through them. And so I look at all of like our whole life as this is just a major asset that we can use to help other people. And when we can tap into a system like doTERRA has, that when we help people, we can get paid for that. And I call it the virtuous cycle. It's like give and receive. You give, we receive, give, receive. And the more we're able to give and serve and help other people, the more we receive. And oftentimes that's through compensation. That might be through money, but that money for me is just like energy. Like it's just coming back. You're giving it out, it's coming back. So this is just a story. You can kind of see it. It's usually on a twofold thing, but this is a bucket. And there's a story of this lady who lived in a village and there wasn't a water source. And so she would have to travel with her buckets to the water source to get the water for her family. And then she had this idea, well, what if I took extra trips and people could pay me for that, right? And so there were probably people who couldn't travel, didn't have the buckets, whatever, but she was able to create her own income that way. So the more trips she took, the more income she made, and which was great. But then she had an even better idea. And she had this idea, well, what if I took a little extra time and money and I started digging a pipeline that eventually I could just turn on a spigot, that I wouldn't have to continue hauling those buckets, and I could get paid over and over and over again for the work that I did building that pipeline. And yes, you'd have to kind of do some maintenance on the pipeline, but that's that type of income, we call it residual income. That's the type of income that can create financial freedom and time freedom. And that's what doTERRA can create for people who want that, right? It can create earned income. Like you might help a friend get some oils, get some products, and you get paid a commission for that. And so you sell more oils, you can make more commissions, and that would be like the hauling the buckets. But as you help people learn how to use doTERRA products, how to live a healthy lifestyle, and as they continue to purchase, for instance, if it's lifelong vitality, if you help somebody learn like you need nutrients and they start taking that and they get a really good experience and they're feeling better, do you think they're going to not take that? No. In fact, it's about 70% retention rate, if not higher, that people who use lifelong vitality continue to take it regularly. So from a business standpoint, number one, you're helping more people, right? Because they found something that's helpful for them. But then every single month, everybody that you introduced to lifelong vitality, for instance, and is using that, is purchasing that, you're getting paid a small percentage. Now, you helped them once, you might have helped them like just kind of figure out how to log into your account. Here's like some resources. So you did that work in building that pipeline. But then they're like pretty independent. Like most of us know how to log into our account. Most of us know how to like do some research, order some things, try some things out, look in a book or app, and take care of those needs. And so over time, that can build. And the cool thing with doTERRA is that this is not just like people that you introduce. You might have, maybe you shared with your mom and she's like, I love this stuff. And she shares it with all of her friends. And then some of her friends like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. This is helping with my arthritis. You should try this. And it continues to trickle out and create this ripple effect. But all of those people who are being impacted, whether it was directly by you or somebody else, that every single month, doTERRA just calculates, just, okay, who needs to receive commission? And they just set that aside. That's part of their budget. Instead of paying marketing people and other department or company to do this, to bring this, they just pay people who are using the product to share it with other people. And so you can receive compensation for the rest of your life. If you have people who are continuing to purchase, if they're finding value, they're going to continue to purchase. And for me, I could never go back to the old Stacy, the old way of taking care of my family. We have been to the doctor probably 3 times for sick care in the past 14 years. I have 6 kids. So that says a lot. Like, yes, we go for emergencies, like staples in the head. Is there a broken bone? Those kinds of things. But we really haven't needed some of these other things because we've set in place those foundational lifestyle habits that Elise was talking about with nutrition and digestion, and taking care of some of these other things, that we don't have a lot of stuff coming up, right? And then when it does, we can research. We're like, do I have something in doTERRA or some other natural thing that I could use? But it's super powerful to know that the more you impact other people's life, the more you do that, it's like you're building your pipeline and you can just turn on that spigot and the income continue to come in. Now, as far as like, how do you get paid? There's several different ways, and I will share a link for a video to kind of give you the details, like, because there's some people like, I just want high level, like, give me the vision of what this could be. And then others like, I need to like do the calculator math, which that was me. I remember watching an overview about this, and I literally pulled out my calculator and I was like, is this true? Like, is this thing on here that I'm, and this is so like, I have no idea when I was looking at it exactly. But I just want to tell you, there's several ways you can get paid in doTERRA. And so down here at the bottom, let me see if I can make that bigger. If anybody's on their phone, the first one is just called a fast start bonus. And that's kind of like the lady taking, getting paid for the bucket of water. Somebody paid her for the bucket of water. So that's when you help somebody to get started with their own set of oils or different products, right? That doTERRA will pay you a 20% commission. And so, sell more, make more. But that's not where I focus. Like, I just want to help people and connect them to the products that are amazing for them and really serve them. But then I really like focusing on this called the Power of 3 team bonus, because this sets you up for pretty much all the other compensations that doTERRA will pay you as you help people, but as you build a team of people. And this is another reason why Stacy, Miss Introvert, like some of my best friends have come from doTERRA. And I think that as I've aged, like it is my connection to amazing humans besides just my family, right? So social connections, it's just been really good for me in that way, but we can build teams. And so by doing that, like this is just an example. If you have 3 partners that are partnering with you, and doTERRA, there's some other things with this. I won't go into the details. I'll have you watch the video, but you could get a $50 bonus every single month. Now, it's on my board. So in order to have $50 every month, like a residual income, you'd have to have $10,000 in the bank earning, I think it's like 6% interest. Okay. So it's a really fast way to create a $10,000 asset just by like teaming up with people who want to create an extra income, who want to take care of their health in a more natural way, right? And then once your 3 business partners have 3 business partners, you're going to earn a $250 bonus every single month. Now, again, this is not a huge amount of money. It's not life altering, but it's a residual income. And so $250 a month, that would be equivalent to $50,000 in the bank. So just imagine, like, how long would it take you to earn enough, $50,000 just to set it in an investment and be earning 6%? Like, for most people, that will take a long time, right? And then on that third level, this is once these 9 people each have their 3 business partners, doTERRA pays you a $1,500 a month commission for just having this in place. And $1,500 would be equivalent to a $300,000 investment, 6% interest. Now, most of us, that's not even like realistic, right? For you to go out and earn enough, like from odd jobs or extra, or just like scrimping from, what you are already making. Like, that's just not realistic for you to be able to create a $300,000 asset, earning $1,500 every single month. And so for me, this makes the playing field like even for everyone, because this is possible for everyone. You don't have to have like access to special education or connections or live in the right city or be born into the right family. Like, you don't have to have that. doTERRA has a system in place that you can tap into no matter your education, background, experience. If you're hungry, if you're teachable, if you're honest, and you enjoy helping people, you can tap into this. And this is probably the fastest way that you will be able to create that $300,000 asset. And here's the thing. Most people, like, you have to have over $2 million saved to retire at just whatever your level of like living is now. $2 million. Most people don't have that. Most people are in debt. So as you continue to grow over time, and I have people, my mindset is, okay, if I were going to go to school and get a 4-year degree, it's going to take me 4 years. It's going to cost me how much money and how much time to come out, and then I have to go get a job, right? And I'm going to go make my money then. But it's like this 4-year period of delay of actually making money. In fact, you're losing money because you're putting it into your education, and then you start kind of working your way out of that hole. What I like about this is you can start right now. Within a month or 2, you can be profitable, and you could be earning that $50 thing. That was like $10,000 in a couple of months as a residual income. And then you just continue. It's like on the job training where you're working, you're learning, and your income is growing. And if you give it that 4-year mindset, you will come out far better than if you just go back to school and go get a 4-year degree and then come and try to go get a job. So after that, like, then we really focus over time. You're going to create, it's called the unilevel bonus. And this is where I earn most of my income, is because over time, instead of getting like every time there's purchases made in my organization, like somebody buys a lemon, somebody in Africa buys this, somebody buys this, that's just kind of all added up together. And doTERRA, depending on where they're at in my organization, they pay me a small percentage of whatever that order was. So level 1, and I won't go into this, like I said, the video will explain it, but it just kind of compounds. And this is where financial freedom comes. Because yes, I do work some, but like when I went back and got my MBA, it was like 2 years off. I didn't work. But guess what? If I were in a job and I had quit that job, I would have been earning 0. But I took 2 years off and I continued to earn because I had built a pipeline, and that water was still coming out, right? The water was flowing. People were buying because they were receiving value. They were trained. They knew how to order. They knew like how to use their products, and that I was being compensated over and over and over again for that. And that's what I want for you, if that's something that you desire. And like I said, some people like don't even go there because they don't think it's possible. They stop dreaming. They think, this is just life. I just want, an extra whatever to pay off this bill. And that's just, I work best with people who are, okay, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to have something different. I see that it's possible. Stacy, who came from some small town, nobody in her family had ever even gone to college, whatever, like she was able to create this. Like, it's possible for you. And doTERRA makes it possible for people just like me, just like you, to be able to tap into a system that's already created. I don't have to go out and create my own thing, my products, my own business, my own, like, how am I going to do this? Like, it's right here available. And for some reason you were on this, right? Some reason you stayed, you decided to be here for this, or you're watching the replay. But this is kind of the heart of it. Now, how does this work? A lot of people ask, well, if I want to do this, like, I don't know how to sell stuff. I don't know enough about products. I don't know if I have enough time. Like, these are just common things. This is network marketing. It's an MLM. It's a scam, whatever. Like, all of us come in with these kind of fears or unknowns. And so I want to kind of address some of those. And then if anybody has any like questions or anything, like, I'm open to anything. So what it would take for you to be successful in doTERRA. Like I've told people before, number 1, you have to be hungry. And for me, that just means like you're self-motivated. There's something driving besides money. Like, this is not just about money. There's something that drives you, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like getting up. It's kind of like taking care of your kids, like in the middle of the night, and you're so tired, you just don't want to do it, but you do. Why? Because you love them. You do, because it's like your responsibility. You own that, right? And so you have to be hungry in some kind of sense, like, I want change, or I want to make an impact, or I'm just tired of living how I am, right? The second one is that you have to be humble. And for me, humility means teachable, that it's not like, oh, I know it all, or I'm going to complain about it. Like, I am teachable. I am here. Like, I will just soak it in. I want to learn how to do this. If you say there's a way, then I'm going to figure it out. Like, so you're humble and teachable. And then the last one is that you're honest. Like, I know a lot of people, when they think about business or sales or network marketing, they think scammy kind of thing. And that's not who we gather. We gather people who are honest, who honestly like to help people, who care about people. And yes, it's not like you're sacrificing yourself for somebody else, right? But you recognize human beings and their needs and have empathy towards people. And so those 3 qualities, those 3 H's are really what it would take to be successful in this business. And so like with time, if you have more time, it can go faster, right? So if you're putting in 5 hours a week, it will just go slower than if you're putting in 40 hours a week, but you would be doing the same things. And what do we do in doTERRA? So we talk about the story of pipes, and I'll get to Faye or Joel, whoever raised your hand, in just a second. Pipes. So that analogy, the PIPES, that's what we do. So the P stands for prepare. The I stands for invite. The second P stands for present. The E stands for enroll, and the S stands for support. So prepare, That could be like, I'm preparing to learn how to invite someone to a class, or I'm preparing to like learn a little bit more about these oils so I can share with somebody, right? So there's just some preparation. And that's not just a one-time thing. You'll like new thing, like, oh, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? I just think of that's just preparing, right? And then the bulk of the time we spend on the IPE. We say IPE. We're IPing. So that's inviting, learning how to invite people and how to do it. So we're not spammy, salesy, whatever. We're doing it effectively. So you're not wasting their time. You're not wasting your time. There's a skill to learn there, right? But we invite people. We invite people to come to this class, or we invite people to try a sample, or we invite people to like come to convention, learn about this thing. Or so we invite, we present. Basically, that's helping people learn about natural health, essential oils, doTERRA. And this could be you're presenting yourself, or you're sharing a video, or you're sharing a link to like, hey, come to this class, right? And somebody else is teaching, but people need to be educated. And there's multiple ways of being able to do that, but that's the P. And then E is enrolling. And that's helping someone to get their own account. So there's like the physical things like, how do you do that? I log into doterra.com. I do this XYZ, right? Not super hard, but it might be the conversation to help them to realize what they might need or want to order. That's it. And then support, like making sure they get connected to support tools, making sure like, hey, there's a book or an app that you could purchase that will help you. Hey, doTERRA has a website. There's some tools here. Our team has these things that are resources to you. So those are just some of the support tools. That's it. Millions of dollars. Like I've made millions of dollars in doTERRA doing those basic things. This has not been rocket science. This has not been an MBA where I'm having to learn statistics and all these like different like crazy things that I'm never going to use. But I've had to learn how to communicate with people. I've had to learn some basic things that I didn't know before, but they're all like 5th, 6th, 7th grade level skills that people can do. And that's why I love this, because it just really levels that playing field for everyone who wants to do it. Now, of course, you're going to have like some mental things in your head because whenever you start something new, like you're going to start a new diet, you're going to start a new program, you're going to start a new school, you're going to start a new job. Like there's kind of some fear around it, like, oh, like this is new. I'm starting a new habit. That you have certain like wires, pathways in your brain that are comfortable, they're familiar. And so you're going to be stepping into a place that's not familiar. And so it's recognizing that just because it's uncomfortable or it's unfamiliar does not mean that it's wrong, or that I shouldn't do this, or that I can't do this. It's just our brains. It's the natural way that they work. And that the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes. And then it becomes second nature. And then it becomes easy. And then you master it. And so that's like recognizing there's a path to this, that if you say, yeah, I want to do this, it's not going to be easy, because you're going to have to rewire some of the things in your brain. And your brain's going to be giving you some pushback because it wants you to stay kind of where you're at. It's familiar with your income level. It's familiar with the struggles that you have. And you're going to be stepping into a path that may not be as familiar, right? So there's some uncertainty there. And our job as part of your team is to bring certainty to you, whether that's certainty that, oh, here's some things that you could say to invite someone. And because you have a certainty, like, oh, here's the actual words, like all I have to do is text that to some person, it's more likely that you would send that because you have some certainty. Or you've seen like with products, like, oh, Elise had that experience with this product. It brings a level of certainty that maybe I would try that, or maybe I would recommend that to someone. And so that's kind of our job, is to help you to have a little more certainty so that you'll start taking some of those actions that may be unfamiliar or a little uncomfortable, right? So time, network marketing, like pyramid scheme, that is such an old one. Most people, like once they understand network marketing is it's just math. That's what my new thing is like. It's just math. There's just like a compensation. Like if you do X, Y, Z in doTERRA, then this is how much you get paid. So if you do these things, it's just like 2 + 2 = 4. So you have to learn how to do 2 + 2 to get the 4. And because it's like a 15-year-old plus company, it's not like some fly by night going to go out of business. They're out of debt. Like the products have been proven. So that's sometimes what happens in network marketing, especially with newer companies, is you just don't know. You don't know who the owners are, or the corporate, like what are their values? Are they just trying to like pass some junky product off to make a quick buck? Like, that's not where we're at with doTERRA. It would have been shut down a long time ago. So you're with a good company, great compensation plan. Time, can you do it? Anything else that needs to be covered for you to understand some of the basics? And then I'll kind of give you what are the next steps if this is something that you want to do. All right, kids, let's play. You had your hand up. I don't know if there's still a question. Bay or Joel.
I just wanted to ask you to elaborate a little bit more on why the doterra compensation plan and the idea of earning income over a long period of time is so valuable, because, and it primarily is because of the retention rate. And I know you didn't really go into it too much. So if you could just help people understand what the difference between doterra and other companies in regard to that.
That's a great one. Let me just share this part of this. So in the business overview, it kind of talks a little bit about this. Why partner with doterra, right? Versus some other company or something else. And so Joel brought up, let me make sure you can see all of that. I think, yeah, I think you can see it. I don't know, I can see it.
Yeah.
So a few reasons why people are choosing to partner with doterra, especially like as a network marketing company, and which is interesting. I don't know if you're up on some of the news, but there have been a lot of network marketing companies who have gone out of business, or they've changed their business model where they're going to a retail model where they're just selling directly like out of a store, right? So like recently Rodan & Fields, they changed their business model. And so like all the people who had been creating great customers and supporting these customers for years, all of a sudden their income is gone because Rodan & Fields kind of took all of that and they entered into like contracts to put their products in retail stores, right? And sell directly to consumer. doterra isn't like this because they know like there has to be some education involved. A lot of people, especially nowadays, they want referrals from friends or family because like, I don't know if I can trust the marketing on there. I'm not sure if I can trust whatever I'm hearing because there's just so much out there. But when a friend or a family member or somebody they trust is saying like, well, this is what I use, this is what I tried, you're welcome to try it. More people purchase because of those referrals than any other form of like marketing or advertising. And so again, that's why we need to be honest with what we know and what we're doing. But we have a 65% retention rate. What does that mean? It means if you were to introduce 100 people to, for instance, Rodan & Field or some other network marketing product or service, less than 10% of people will purchase that again, or even on a regular basis. With doterra, it's 65% retention rate. So 65 of those people that you introduce to doterra will continue to make purchases. What does that mean from a business standpoint? That means like I could go work my butt off and bring in 100 people from, for a different product, and I would get a way different result. And it would take me far more work, energy, effort, time to create the same amount of people who are purchasing a different product. And what that speaks to is the quality of the product, because most people in doterra, they're customers. They're not getting any compensation for them, buying products. They're using them because they're finding value. So that's huge. When you're researching and wanting to partner with someone, you want that exact situation, is where the product is so good. People are buying it. They do not care. Like they're not in it for a business. They're in it because they're seeing value, right? So that's probably one of the biggest things. And because of the quality of the products, that's why people are seeing a difference. When you're purchasing a pure essential oil that is potent, that is vetted, like we know what these do, that people are getting these really powerful experiences. When you're buying some diluted fragrance, you're not going to get that same experience. The company, like I said, it's over $2.5 billion company. And the wellness industry is just projected to continue to skyrocket and grow. Like we have health issues, right? Like there is not a lack of people needing solutions. And what I love is that we are trying to help bring foundational solutions that aren't just like a quick, put a Band-Aid on something, just a quick peel, fix it, and then I'll deal with the side effects later. Or, I lost weight, but now I have all these health issues. Like that's not what we're doing. We're trying to help people change their lives, their lifestyles, and products that support that in a healthy way, right? So, and It's worldwide. So you may have friends or family that don't live in the United States, don't live in your town. Globally, like you have access to be able to share with people anywhere in the world. Half of my team is in Mexico. I haven't been to Mexico to teach people to like do any of that. It's just spread because doTERRA is in all these different countries. And then the last thing is a lot of people are understanding that the impact that can be made if we are purchasing products that are made maybe on slave labor, right? Like who knows where a lot of these products that we get are coming from and what it cost to create that, like as far as human experience. But we know in doTERRA the impact that's being made from the people who are planting those seeds, who are taking care of the plants, who are harvesting, who are distilling, how they're getting tested, bottled, all of that. The whole complete supply chain is very transparent. And so we understand that doTERRA is making an impact on those people's lives around the world. So every time we purchase a bottle of oil, we're impacting someone who has a job, who is providing for their family. And so there's just impact in so many different ways, not just in our own homes, but globally. And more people are understanding that and looking for companies that they want to partner with because they want that, right? They don't want to just kind of put on blinders now and just like, well, I'm taking this and I don't know, like that kid was like taken abducted from their family to go work in this factory. Like we have access to so much information now that people are becoming more aware and they're starting to care more about that. So anyway, that's my preachy point, but any other thoughts on
Uh,
that or comments or
It
questions?
sounds like, there's a reason why things cost what they cost, and we don't know the actual impact that we're having. Um, you know,
Well, and what's really fun is doTERRA is super transparent. You can
yeah.
go online, like on their YouTube channel, and they are posting all the time these stories, like just on the ground with people who are growing these plants or the lives have been changed or like they see a problem here, they don't have education or schools or water. How can we like raise some money so we can help them in this capacity? And then so those stories are there, but we also have what's called co-impact sourcing trips. So you can actually go on trips to these different countries and be a part of that and see what's going on and help and serve and just be on the ground there if that's something that resonates with you. Just know that as you're in doTERRA, you will have access to be able to do those things. And they are life-changing. When you're able to go and see how other people are living, but also seeing the impact that's being made and their lives are so much better because of what's going on. Like that's really for me what business is about, is it's providing answers, solutions, solving problems. And so on so many levels, that's what doTERRA does. And that's why when you partner with doTERRA, it's not just about you and creating a little extra income. It's like, yes, you're going to grow your income, but you're going to grow as an individual. And then the impact that you're going to make by the people that you're helping with their health, but then also globally as your organization grows, just think of all the other people who now have a livelihood because of the work that you're doing. And you may never know them, you may never see them face to face, but just know that's what's going on. Okay, any other things? You're welcome to ask questions, but I will be telling you in just a second, like how to get started with us if you want to get going.
I just want to add one last thing. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Oh,
but
no,
I
no, go ahead.
say one last thing. I've tried a lot of different network marketing companies because I believe in the concept, right? The idea and the fundamental business, what do you call it? Business
Well,
paradigm or yeah, paradigm, if you will. Um, but what I realized was it wasn't about even the business so much as it was about me. And I think that's what you're getting at when you say if you're hungry and honorable or humble, which is teachable, you got a reason, you're teachable, and you're honest, then the trick is to learn how to overcome whatever block is stopping you from being as successful as you can want to be. And that is worth all its weight in gold because you could take those skills to any place in your life.
Well, and I think about it because, like, for some of us who are parents and we think about our kids and we're like, oh, we want them to dream big. We want them to have goals. And then as they're working through that, whether that's in music or arts or sports, whatever that is, right? Like, you want them to mentally learn how to push through those things because, like, that's a bigger value. I don't really care about the sports. I don't really care about the music. Like, it's beautiful, but like for them to develop that skill, that emotional resilience, that mental fitness, right? Like, how powerful is that as you grow into adulthood? Because you face some like really big problems. And
Mhm.
so for me, this is my like kind of playground in the sense of adults oftentimes like don't even realize that they've stopped going for like the gold. They've stopped going for the goal. And would you be disappointed in your like you don't want that for your kids. So why would you want that for yourself? Right? So show the people around us that we love them by leading, by doing, right? By I'm willing to do the uncomfortable. I'm willing to continue to grow. Even though I'm turning 50 next month, I'm still willing to grow and overcome like the mental piece, right? Because I love my kids. I love my like people around me. I want them to see me as somebody like she's continuing to go. If that inspires somebody else, like, oh, she can do it, I can do it. Like, keep going. Okay. Yeah, so it's a journey of personal growth, and I love that when somebody says, "Yes, I'm in," I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be beautiful." Like, I know it might be hard, but it's gonna be beautiful. Marina, you got a question or comment?
You actually kind of answered. I was thinking about motivation, and this last month I joined a couple of meetings, and it's actually like what you say is so right. Like your brain is like so used to like old patterns, so it's kind of so hard. Something new scares you, and you always like pull back, and it's like, do I need it? Do I have time for this? And you want to go back, but it's about building this new connection like neurons like in your brain. We know it takes habit to do something 21 days. So it's the same. It's just new and familiar. That's why it's so it's scary, you doubting, do I need it? So I think we all go through this, but if you really, like you say, believe in product, and you guys have really good system, which is I really like today lecture, and I information and the way you you know um, just explained it, like science of this, and passion. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that like the more we understand how our brains work, they're there. Our brains are there to protect us, but we also have things that we may not need protection from. We're not running from like lions or tigers or bears, right? So, but we still have that response.
Hmm.
Like there's a lion, there's a lion there. When really it's like, oh, somebody said no. Oh, but I'm not dead.
It's yeah.
Right? Like, I don't have to run from a no.
Mhm.
Somebody doesn't
Yeah.
like essential oils. Oh no. Ah. Like that's not like that big of a deal, but we still react like but once we consciously know that's what's happening, then we can walk ourselves through it like, oh, like that really isn't that big of a deal. Like
Yeah.
and die. Um,
Yeah.
so the next steps, because we want to help as many people get started. And so if you're feeling called like, I want to dive into this. I don't know where I'm exactly wanting to go, but I want to get clearer on that. I want to kind of create a plan. What we are doing, it's a 7-day challenge that starts next week. And basically that week is not a lot of time, but it's really focused on helping you to create your launch strategy blueprint, which basically is figuring out why you would do this, what you want to create, like the amount of time that you're able to put into it, just really creating the plan, the blueprint for you individually, because we all have different lives, different goals, different like things, going on. So that's what we would be starting next week to just get clear on that so that you can then from September to the end of November, so 90 days, and it's best to kind of work in some of these like quarterly systems because you give yourself enough time, but not too much time, to then launch your business and to become profitable in that amount of time. And so that's the goal. That's what we're working towards, is helping you to learn the things, the pipes that we talked about, the PIPES, be able to learn and do those things simultaneously. So you're learning a little bit and doing something. And we have in place. So next week, 7 days, just get really clear, create your strategy blueprint. And then starting just after Labor Day would be where we're launching our businesses, and we guide you all the way, right? Like any questions you have, this is just some simple things that you can do, how you can tap into our system. Like we will take out all of the confusion and the uncertainty. If you're like, okay, this is what I want to create. Now I know here's kind of my plan. And then we will guide you through those 90 days to help you. Kind of like you're going to school, but you're going to learn pretty fast, but you're going to be earning income as you go. And then to support you in that, because we know there's like things you need to learn and there's things you need to do, but then there's this mindset piece. So every Monday, whether you can join live or if you want to watch the replay, we'll be having some mindset coaching training to help you to develop the mindset that you will need to have in order to be successful. And this will translate over, it will go into other areas of your life, but just know every Monday it's 1 p.m. Mountain time. So you'll have to figure that out if it works for you to be on live or if you'll have access to the replay. But you can join. It's about 10-15 minutes of like mindset training, and then we can coach through any kind of challenges or problems or questions. Then on Wednesdays, we have our wellness workshop, which you're welcome to invite people to. We will teach you how to do that, how to get people to come, how you can expose more people. We will teach you how to do that. But then on Thursdays, there will just be a live Q&A. It's kind of like office hours. If you have any questions, like, I don't understand the compensation plan, or can you help me with a strategy? Or I'm trying to talk to this person, like, I don't know what to say. Like, this is a time to be able to come receive support. And of course, the person who enrolled you, they can help you. They're going to be there, like guiding you, but just know as kind of a team collectively, that is something that you can be a part of. So you're not doing this alone. We're doing it together with each other to help you to reach the goals that you want to reach, right? So it's called the Action Academy because this is about action. It's not about just coming and learning some like things, right? It's going to be learning a little and doing a little. It's kind of like a little step, little step, little step, learn, do. And so it's not going to be too much, but we'll guide you all the way. So if that's something that you want to participate in, and so if you're wanting to create $500 extra a month or more, like this is probably one of the best places that you could do it, especially if you're open to natural ways to take care of your health and you care about people. I will I'll send out the link to everyone. I think some of you have already applied. It's basically your application. If you are a part of our team already, if you have your own customer account with me, Faye, Elise, somebody on our team, then you can have access to this, but there is a tuition requirement. So if you were going to get this type of education and support for your college, I don't know, the cheapest one that we have here is, I think it's like $5,000 a semester, but I think in other states is way more than that. So $10,000 a month for your degree, $40,000, right? If you stay with us, I promise you, you will make more than you would going to get a 4-year degree. You will have more flexibility in your time. You'll have the capacity to create other streams of income. If you're sticking with us that 4 years, but even just give us 90 days, right? To see where it goes. But the tuition is your monthly order. And in order to maximize the compensation plan that doTERRA has put in place, we ask that you're doing 155 PV. And there's logic around that because that will bring you the most compensation as you're growing your team with that Power of 3 bonus that we talked about, because we want you to get to that $1,500 Power of 3 as quickly as possible, right? Because that's more than paying for your products. That's free healthcare at that point, but you also have extra. And then it will just continue to grow from there. So we want you to get to that point as quickly as possible. But in order to do that, you have to like understand the math of the compensation plan. So the 155, I just call it your tuition, but you're getting your products, you're getting your order and all that. And from a like financial tax accounting perspective, all of that you can use as a write-off. So even though you're paying for your tuition, you're going to keep track of that. And if you have an accountant or if you do your taxes yourself, you can use that as a business expense, right? Because in order for you to get paid, you need to have that. And so that is a business expense. So there's just so many beautiful things we're going to teach you if you want it to come along for this ride. So we'll get you out the form that you can fill out. It's just like name at whatever your member number, if you're a member. If you're not a member of our doTERRA team, You just need to get to the person that invited you to help you to get enrolled. If you're on Crossline team, then just reach out to me because we have some that are able to join, even though you're not on our team. Okay, any questions before we hop off? So what to expect after you fill out that application, just saying, hey, yeah, I'm raising my hand. I want to do this, or I think I want to do this. That's okay. Like, we'll get you there. Going out on Saturday, you will get an email with more information about the 7-day challenge. It will start on Sunday, but I don't work on Sunday, but Sunday will just give you like some prep things for Monday through Friday, and then wrap it up on Saturday. It's kind of like, if I didn't get these things done, I need to get these things done by Saturday. And then you're going to have a great Labor Day weekend. You're going to just do whatever you want to do. And then come that Tuesday, we're going to get to work, right? And whether that's you're committing to 5 hours a week or you're committing to 40 plus hours a week, it's your choice. We will help you to reach your goals with whatever you're willing to give. Okay. Any questions, Faye?
You emailing the application or what?
I will email that out. You may already have the link. I shared it with you. Let me see. I can put it in this chat, but I know there's a bunch of people who are watching.
Yeah, just an easy way.
Link.
But also, if you
But
can
for
email it,
me-
because some people had to jump off the call.
Yes, or for people watching the
So for
replay.
those who are on live, if you go into the chat and you grab that or click on that, so it'll just pull it up in a browser before we shut off, then you can fill it out. Like, it really is quick and fast. And if you're on the board, or just fill it out. We can, so tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's 12 p.m. Pacific. East Coasters, that's 3. Central Time, that's 2, right? I'm doing a Q&A. You're welcome to come if you have like specific questions or anything like that. For those who have already started, if you want to do a little strategy session, whatever, just know that every Thursday I will be on at that time if you're doing this program, or for this time, if you're just like, I'm still exploring, I need to have some questions, or if you guys have anybody that you want to bring to that who may have questions, you can.
David, time? What time?
1 p.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m.
Okay.
Pacific time.
And
2
that's
p.m.
going to
Central,
be-
3 p.m. Eastern.
That's located where? Where are you going?
Yes.
To be?
So the Zoom link will always be discovernaturalsolutions.com/Zoom, but that will also go out in an email. But for those of you, if you need to share that with someone, so tomorrow, if you want to hop on that, if you have someone that wants to hop on that, you're welcome to discovernaturalsolutions.com//Zoom. I will be sending out an email to everybody who applies or is already a part of the action committee on Saturday with more instructions for the 7-day challenge. But no, Sunday, you'll also get an email with a little bit of just more of a reflection assignment, because it's my Sabbath, so I honor my Sabbath. You guys, honor your Sabbath, whatever day that is. And then Monday we will be starting, but you'll get more information with that. And it's not a lot of time. It's just doing the work to get clarity to create your blueprint of how you're going to do the next 90 days. Okay. All right.
Anyone?
Any questions? I know, like, Linda is probably late for you. Any of our Marina, any questions?
No, great, excited.
Okay.
You
Yay.
read? You good?
Okay, guys, good night.
Okay, well, hopefully we see all of you on. You're part of this. It will just be a really good group of people that are moving forward together. So let's go.
Let's go.
Nice meeting everybody.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.